Jason Lee Podcast.
Back with an all-new episode of the Jason Lee Podcast. Woo! Every week, I tell you, it's just a whole new learning experience. I am out here still running for office. We're less than 55 days away until Election Day, November 5th. I am on the same ballot that Kamala Harris is on. So if you're in the city of Stockton, make sure you're registered to vote. I'm not going to give you lots of details, but I did have a really nice time with the kids in Sierra Vista. You know, they had, for those of you that don't know, they segregated a pool in the community that I grew up in, a community that there's still lots of black and brown kids there. In my opinion, they have been gentrifying that neighborhood, and they separated it to where the kids in the old development couldn't swim in the pool, the new pool, but the kids in the new development could. So kids who lived on this street couldn't swim with these kids. Well, I went in there and worked with the housing authority to fix that, and I threw an end of the summer pool and pizza party for the kids. We had video games, we had lots of whatever, video games, pizza, and it was good. It was good. The community came out, and I bought the pizza. I used to work at this place called Eddie's Pizza in Stockton. I got fired from there, rightfully so. Years ago, and that's the best pizza in town. It's a small local business. They have 3 locations, one out north, one on Waterloo, and one on the south side of my district, south side on El Dorado. I bought 100 pizzas, cost me lots of money. It's the best pizza. People were like, why you didn't buy them Costco pizza? That's the thing. I'm showing my district that they deserve better, that they deserve the best, and that I wouldn't feed my dog Costco pizza. My dog drinks bottled water, so I'm going to make sure that the people eat the pizza. It wasn't even a thing, and so it became a big deal to people, though. But anyway, shout out to everybody that came out, all your kids, and the kids in the community who walked up to me and you know, they're like, oh my God, Jason Lee's our councilman. I'm like, not yet. I got 50-something days, but I will be the Stockton City Council member for District 6. And I'm showing people that you can have a dope, fly life and job, but you can still give back to your community and still be responsible, even though I have tried to quit this campaign multiple times along the way because it is a lot, but only because it has been a transition. But I'm ready, and I'm focused, and I'm ready to go. You know what I was saying, Rob, that when I built Hollywood Unlocked in the podcast, Hollywood Unlocked Uncensored with Damage and Blue and the people before, whatever, we did a show every week for 6 years. No break, no stop, holidays, birthdays, no matter what it was, no stop. And after I got to a certain level of success, I said, you know what? I'm going to start taking a break 2 months out of the year, doing nothing. I'm having withdrawals. I am now saying to the audience, thank you for being so patient with us, but the Jason Lee Show is coming back. Everybody in the background is clapping because we're all still gainfully employed in a horrible economy, and we're going to do amazing shows. And I'm happy to announce that we also did a deal on a network. So I'm going to give us our flowers because we did a deal for the Jason Lee Show. We're not going to announce yet where it's going, but it will come to a network near you. And listen, we are proving that all things are possible. You can still do your job, which you're passionate about, and still live in your purpose and run to help your city. And me and Rob talk about that all the time. But we got a really good deal. Are you excited?
I am excited. It's going to be great. I think it's going to put the show in front of a great audience base. It's going to be fun.
And I asked Rob, are you excited? Because Rob is the executive producer of that show.
Yes.
As well as my right hand here at Hollywood Unlocked. But no, it's really good, and I'm really excited about the future. So if you have people that you want to see, take this clip, tag me online, tag those people, tell me who you want to see, and we'll make sure that we reach out to them. We already have an exciting show lined up. And I ain't even going to drop no names, but somebody reached out to me that I know is going to go break the internet. But it is what it is, and we are there. And I see Krishan is out. Let me give her a round of applause. She's been released from jail. Krishan Rock, she texts me some Jesus stuff, so she may have found the Lord in there. And who knows, she might make another appearance on the show. All right, before we even get into anything, I have to wish my good sis Cardi B congratulations on the new baby. Her and Offset brought in, did they bring it in? They brought to life a beautiful baby, their 3rd child together. As you know, those two have separated, but the family unit is still intact. She went to her Instagram and she posted a few things. Here's a photo of her and the baby. And, of course, Offset, I've said many times, he may not be the best husband, but he's a good father. He was there, and here's a video of him in the room. I love that she was able to enjoy this pregnancy. You know, every pregnancy she's ever had has always been with some drama, and this one has been so peaceful. And she's, you know, I called her the other day to check on her, and she just happy, home, and healthy. So congratulations to you. Now, in other news, I saw what y'all had to say online about me and Ice Spice. All right, listen, I love all of you, every single one of you. Whether you say I'm right, wrong, I know what I'm saying or not. Let me first say as a disclaimer, I don't listen to all this new age rap shit. I look at what's trending online and I comment on what I see and I stand on business. But apparently a lot of y'all didn't like what I had to say the last show about Icy Spicy, okay? And making everything nicey with all her friends that she keeps falling out with. Okay, we talked last week about her and her friend Cleo, and a lot of you said that I was wrong. Okay, maybe I was wrong on whatever you saw. What I was talking about was more so a rapper whose friends fall out publicly and spill all their business out there and talk about them and air them out like a dog. I'm not a fan of that. I don't care what goes on. I have friends, I think I said in the show, that I have fallen out with for almost 2 decades who don't go to the internet with issues they have with me, whether I'm right or wrong, because that's just not right. That's what I'm saying. Now, whether or not it was a dark-skinned girl, the light-skinned girl, I'm not in the nuances of all that. And if you can show me where Ice Spice called her Blackie or something disrespectful as a dark-skinned girl or something derogatory, then I will drag Ice Spice for filth. But I didn't hear that. Some of y'all had a lot to say. I found it very comical. Rob's going to read some of your mean tweets.
This message was sponsored by Ice Spice Inc. Thank you for watching. That's what this gave, but okay.
Ice Spice ain't cut no check over here. Go ahead. Next.
Did Ice Spice pay y'all to do this?
Okay. Ice Spice did not pay us to do this. Next.
Sorry, Jason. I disagree, and I think the majority does as well. Still love you, though.
Thank you. Love you, too. Don't agree with you either. Next.
He's a colorist, y'all.
Okay, now we're going to fight. I'm so tired of being called a colorist. Look, I have dark-skinned friends. Look at Rob. That was a joke. What am I going to do? Walk around with all my dark-skinned friends and go, look, I got dark-skinned friends? No, remember Khloe Kardashian did that when she dressed them all up like Malika and Khadijah and them during the Halloween. You forgot that? Yeah, I don't need to do all that. I'm not into proving I'm this or that. I love all my people, all cuz. Do you want to read it? He want to read some more hate mail.
No,
go ahead.
no.
I love everybody, but go ahead.
No, this will be the last one. Jason being biased because he's cool with Ice. That's all.
I'm not cool with Ice. But I did run into her after that show. Take a look. Listen. Okay, look. To all the fans who are fans of Ice Spice or fans of Cleopatra, let me first make a disclaimer. Whatever the girl's name is, Cleo. That's my point. We don't know that girl. We know Ice Spice. I stand on what I said. Whether you guys agree or not, I don't care. I don't do this for people to agree, for people to have a dialogue. You all clearly had a meeting on some kind of chat line and all agree that I was wrong. And maybe I am wrong. But I'm standing on the fact that when celebrities and friends of celebrities or a celebrity and somebody who's on their up-and-coming journey have a close, intimate relationship, regardless of what goes down, you keep that shit private. We don't need to be put in the group text. And let me tell you what I told Ice Spice to her face that night I saw her in that picture you just saw, and I'm going to say it to you, and it was a one-way dialogue on this point, that the woman who killed Selena was the fan club president. You got to be careful who you let around you. You know, me and Rob, you think I've been friends with somebody almost 20 years, and we haven't had knocked down, drag out, cussing, yelling, screaming fights? Are you crazy? Of course we have. But I know I could go to bed every night knowing he ain't going to write a book about it. He ain't going to go to social media, and the same. And even in a fight, I could fight with him 1 minute, and I'll go ask him advice the next minute. Why? Because we have a relationship. And you can't have a real relationship with somebody that you never have conflict with. That's why I always say with Cardi, she even said at the award show, and you've been there, we fight, knock down, drag out. When I tell you on the phone, bitch, boop, 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 both ways, hanging up. Because we love each other as real friends. Like, we're not, the industry jobs is not what dictates. She knows I really love her. I know she really loves me. And that's what I'm hoping a Ice Spice, somebody who's new to fame, gets to experience, somebody that you're on your own journey with what you want to do in your career in acting. You know, as we evolve as celebrities or people or public figures, we got to have some respect in our private relationships. Airing everything out, putting out text messages. The stuff that they're doing to her, in my opinion, is wrong. Filming her while she's praying, you know, trying to exploit what the... We shouldn't know what her prayer experience is like. Nobody sees me when I pray. I don't see him when he prays. That is a private moment. To think that you have people around you filming, that's what I was on. Now, all the other details, whether or not the girl had a bad dressing room, whether or not she was set up to fail, whether or not her chapstick was stolen, whether or not Ice Spice slept, I don't know all them details, so you guys may be right on that one, but I'm standing on what I'm saying in terms of what I'm talking about. So did I miss some?
I don't think
Because
so.
they attacked you too.
Yeah, but I don't think so. And I like same as you. The thing that it wasn't about the totality of everything that happened for me. It was a couple of major things. Like when she was like, God wouldn't bless someone like her. I'm like, why would you ever say that? Especially about somebody who's your friend. To me, that was like low. And then 2, success is when preparation meets opportunity. She gave you opportunity. Be prepared for it. Like post yourself performing or dragging your bags up to the room or do that. Don't post your friend and drag her.
Do you know any of her songs?
No, I don't.
Munch. At least I know that one. You know what I mean? Like of Ice Spice. But to all the fans who said I got it wrong, this is the second week in a row. First it was Dr. Bryant and my boy Cam. I still disagree with y'all on that. But I'm going to invite Dr. Bryant on my show, and Ice Spice can come on anytime she wants. Cleo, you don't got enough songs yet, but maybe next time. All right. Look, we got a lot to get into today because the internet has been a show, and I'm just going to stop wasting time. Let's just get right to it. It's the Tea with Jason Lee. So we're going to get right into it. So I'm going to turn the page. Did you get that?
I did.
Why? What was it?
Because Kamala said that.
These two. Baby, I called Robert and I said, do you want to come over and watch it together? Because we knew that this debate was going to be better than any episode of The Baddies that you could think of, any episode of Love and Hip Hop, any episode of I Love New York. This right here was going to be the showdown of all showdowns. This was going to be more brutal than Solange getting in an elevator with somebody that she don't like. This was going to be the moment. Rob texted me and said, do you have popcorn at the house? I thought I had run out of popcorn, but you know I had lots of popcorn. And we watched the debate. Donnie Trump and good old black Kamala Harris. If you question if she was a black woman before that night, there should be no question. She left no moment for him to evade. I'm going to start using DA terms and arrest terms. Evade her, because this was the moment. I want to say this before I even get into it. My race in Stockton is a nonpartisan race. Democrat, Republican, doesn't matter. It is a nonpartisan platform that I'm running on, and everybody that does know me personally knows that I am a blue dog Democrat, meaning that I'm a Democrat and I am left on social issues like love who you want to love. If you're a woman, have full control of your body. Government shouldn't control that. I am pro LGBTQ, trans. I'm all about live your life with you want to do as long as it don't me. Okay. Now, I'm also fiscally conservative. I think California is choking us to death with taxes. I think that paying people $20 to work at McDonald's is outrageous. And I think the homeless crisis is something that should be handled a lot more aggressively with love. But I do, I have my views and they are what they are. So this commentary that you're about to say, that's my disclaimer to let you know it is not pro-left, that's left, and not pro-right. This is just you got that ass whooped. That's what this is. Now, wasn't it beautiful?
It was beautiful. She left no crumbs. Not a crumb.
Before we get started, let me say to Kamala Harris, because I did text your right hand and I just said 888. That's all I said. That's how I text the White House. I don't know how everybody else do 888. And the response was 8 LOL. Okay? And not the number 8, ATE. But Donald Trump and Kamala Harris finally went head-to-head, face-to-face, meeting for the first time ever at the 2024 presidential debate earlier this week, as I mentioned. Now, things started off with Vice President Harris being the bigger person, which is kind of hard. But she walked over to Trump to greet him, and you could tell there was some resistance. Like, Donnie's pace, he was moving at the Biden pace. It was real slow. Okay, but he wasn't going to go over there because, again, I think when you're doing a debate or you're doing some type of interaction like that, you can assert authority by how you position yourself, how you carry yourself, how you don't smile, how you don't look. If you look at boxers, you see when they go up there to weigh in, how they're trying to intimidate. There's a physical intimidation one can do. But she also intimidated him by not only walking in, she slowed down a little bit, but then she walked all the way over. She glided over. There was like a little air under her too, and she walked right up on Donnie and shook his hand. And I think he said, "Have fun." Anyway, if you missed it, take a look.
Kamala Harris. Let's have a good debate.
Nice to see you. Have fun.
Thank you.
That's how the DA walk up to you when they know they're about to put you in prison. Let's start with the breakdown by breakdown. When you saw her walk in, were you afraid that she was going to fail miserably as a woman?
No, and that, like you said, that entrance, that powerful stance that she was going to force him to greet her and shake her hand because he's known for not shaking people's hand at the debates. So she forced him to, and that was a show of power. And she immediately, I think that was the first step in rattling him just a little bit.
First of all, how dare you come into my space is what he was thinking. Well, this wasn't an episode of The Apprentice. He didn't get to sit behind the desk and tell her what to do. Because after the handshake, Vice President Harris got straight to hard-hitting topics like Project 2025. And in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I think she landed the points that are on top of everybody's mind. Do I think that she was perfect? No. I will criticize her in a second. But let you hear what she said about Project 2025, which all of you that don't Google, go to ChatGPT and put in what are the pros and cons of Project 2025, because if passed, this country will never be the same again. Take a listen.
What you're going to hear tonight is a detailed and dangerous plan called Project 2025 that the former president intends on implementing if he were elected again. I believe very strongly that the American people want a president who understands the importance of bringing us together, knowing we have so much more in common than what separates us. And I pledge to you to be a president for all Americans.
President Trump will give you a minute here to respond.
Number one, I have nothing to do, as you know, and as she knows better than anyone, I have nothing to do with Project 2025. That's out there. I haven't read it. I don't want to read it purposely. I'm not going to read it. This was a group of people that got together. They came up with some ideas, I guess some good, some bad, but it makes no difference. I have nothing to do. Everybody knows I'm an open book. Everybody knows what I'm going to do. Cut taxes very substantially and create a great economy like I did before.
Well, Project 2025, in summary, one thing they want to do is get rid of the Office of Education and just purify our country. Purify because a lot of us starting to look like me. Gay and mixed. They don't want any gay. They don't want black. And they want to get back to a pure country, in my opinion. I also think that the abortion ban, they want, in my opinion, they want white folks to procreate more, even if it is by your daddy, because they got into that too. Incest, rape, all that. Anyway, things got really heated when the abortion ban and Roe v. versus Wade came up, and baby, Miss Kamala Harris drug him for filth. Listen.
But each individual state is voting. It's the vote of the people now. It's not tied up in the federal government. I did a great service in doing it. It took courage to do it. And the Supreme Court had great courage in doing it. And I give tremendous credit to those 6 justices.
There is no state in this country where it is legal to kill a baby after it's born. Madam Vice President, I want to get your response to President Trump.
Well, as I said, you're going to hear a bunch of lies, and that's not actually a surprising fact. Let's understand how we got here. Donald Trump hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. And they did exactly as he intended. And now in over 20 states, there are Trump abortion bans, which make it criminal for a doctor or nurse to provide health care. In one state, it provides prison for life. Trump abortion bans that make no exception even for rape and incest, which understand what that means. A survivor of a crime of violation to their body does not have the right to make a decision about what happens to their body next. That is immoral. And one does not have to abandon their faith or deeply held beliefs to agree. The government, and Donald Trump certainly, should not be telling a woman what to do with her body. I have talked with women around our country. You want to talk about this is what people wanted? Pregnant women who want to carry a pregnancy to term, suffering from a miscarriage, being denied care in an emergency room because the healthcare providers are afraid they might go to jail, and she's bleeding out in a car in the parking lot. She didn't want that. Her husband didn't want that. A 12 or 13-year-old survivor of incest being forced to carry a pregnancy to term? They don't want that. And I pledge to you, when Congress passes a bill to put back in place the protections of Roe v. Wade, as President of the United States, I will proudly sign it into law. But understand, if Donald Trump were to be reelected, he will sign a national abortion ban. Understand, in his Project 2025, there would be a national abortion, a monitor that would be monitoring your pregnancies, your miscarriages. I think the American people believe that certain freedoms, in particular the freedom to make decisions about one's own body, should not be made by the government.
Thank you, Vice President Harris.
Well, there she goes again. It's a lie. I'm not signing a ban, and there's no reason to sign a ban because we've gotten what everybody wanted. Democrats, Republicans, and everybody else, and every legal scholar wanted it to be brought back into the states, and the states are voting. And it may take a little time, but for 52 years, this issue has torn our country apart, and they've wanted it back in the states. And I did something that nobody thought was possible. The states are now voting. What she says is an absolute lie. And as far as the abortion ban, no, I'm not in favor of abortion ban, but it doesn't matter because this issue has now been taken over by the states.
Would you veto a national abortion ban if it came to your desk?
Well, I won't have to because, again, two things. Number one, she said she'll go back to Congress. She'll never get the vote. It's impossible for her to get the vote, especially now with the 50-50 and essentially 50-50 in both Senate and the House. She's not going to get the vote. She can't get the vote. She won't even come close to it. So it's just talk. You know what it reminds me of? When they said they're going to get student loans terminated, and it ended up being a total catastrophe. The student loans, and then her, I think probably her boss, if you call him a boss, he spends all his time on the beach. But look, her boss went out and said, we'll do it again. We'll do it a different way. And he went out, got rejected again by the Supreme Court. So all these students got taunted with this whole thing about this whole idea. And how unfair that would have been, part of the reason they lost, to the millions and millions of people that had to pay off their student loans. They didn't get it for free. But they were saying it's the same way that they talked about that they talk about abortion.
But if I could just get a yes or no, because your running mate, J.D. Vance, has said that you would veto it if it did come to your desk.
Well, I didn't discuss it with J.D. In all fairness, J.D., and I don't mind if he has a certain view, but I think he was speaking for me, but I really didn't.
Well, listen, abortion is something that's at the top of everybody's mental inbox right now because it's a huge thing. This affects all women in our country. So if you have a daughter, a sister, a mother, somebody who gets raped on their way home from school or work, or daddy's sneaking in the bedroom after night and sleeping with if they get pregnant, this ban would prevent them from having an abortion. And he even went on to say basically that the president and the vice president support abortions after 9 months. Well, after 9 months, you're born, so that would be murder. And I've never heard of abortions happening at 9 months. In fact, I believe the law, after you get to your, what is it? I know your first trimester, you can do it.
Yeah, I think it's 8 weeks, but most, like Florida's trying to implement a 6-week ban. But I would have to look and see.
No, I thought it was like 12 weeks, which is 3
be.
months within the first trimester. I don't know, but that's why men in government shouldn't have a say-so over what women do with their bodies. I thought Kamala did a great job in addressing the American people on his policies. She was poised, she was focused, and he was rattled. Baby, he lost his grip. And Trump then tried to claim that the vice president was destroying America by letting in illegal immigrants who he said are still in eating Americans' pets. Gucci and Chanel are fine. People on Facebook were posting my pet is safe post. Did you see it?
Yes.
Did you see mine?
No, I didn't see yours.
Well, his extreme comments left Kamala laughing, and the moderators had to fact check him in real time. Now, the vice president even reminded Trump that his crazy comments left over 200 Republicans switching sides. Take a listen.
Harris, thank you. President Trump, on that point, I want to get your response.
Well, I would like to respond.
Let me just ask, though, why did you try to kill that bill, and successfully so, that would have put thousands of additional agents and officers on the border?
First, let me respond as to the
Please.
rallies. She said people start leaving. People don't go to her rallies. There's no reason to go. And the people that do go, she's bussing them in and paying them to be there, and then showing them in a different light. So she can't talk about that. People don't leave my rallies. We have the biggest rallies, the most incredible rallies in the history of politics. That's because people want to take their country back. Our country is being lost. We're a failing nation. And it happened 3.5 years ago. And what's going on here, you're going to end up in World War III, just to go into another subject. What they have done to our country by allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame. As far as rallies are concerned, as far as the reason they go is they like what I say. They want to bring our country back. They want to make America great again. It's a very simple phrase, make America great again. She's destroying this country, and if she becomes president, this country doesn't have a chance of success. Not only success, we'll end up being Venezuela on steroids.
I just want to clarify here. You bring up Springfield, Ohio, and ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
Well, I've seen people on television.
Let me just say here, this is the
people on television say my dog was taken and used for food. So maybe he said that, and maybe that's a good thing to say for a city manager.
I'm not taking this from television.
But the people
I'm
on
taking it from
television
the city
saying
manager.
their dog was eaten by the people that went there.
Again, the Springfield city manager says there's no evidence of that. Vice President Harris,
out.
I'll let you respond to the rest of what you've heard.
You talk about extreme. This is, I think, one of the reasons why in this election I actually have the endorsement of 200 Republicans who have formerly worked with President Bush, Mitt Romney, and John McCain, including the endorsement of former Vice President Dick Cheney and Congress member Liz Cheney. And if you want to really know the inside track on who the former president is, if he didn't make it clear already, just ask people who have worked with him.
See, when he was talking about the rally, she had hit him with a jab, and this is why I said what she did was so strategic and calculating. She knew that he couldn't handle talking about crowd sizes without losing it. Kamala dropped a commercial right before this debate that she knew would send him spiraling, and she specifically attacked his crowd sizes and his campaign and all of that. There was even one scene where there were like a few people there with crickets or whatever. It was really dramatic. Well, I think the vice president took that out of my playbook, because when I did my debate with Ralph, and he was sitting there, he was attacking me the day before. The day of that debate, I put out the Surviving Ralph White documentary, which I knew would drive him crazy. And he came in just so rattled. And I think, Kamala, you owe me. If you win the presidency, you owe me for that. Well, when he was going off about crowd sizes, that's because she had laid in this really specific comment about the fact that she wants people to go and take a look at his rallies and attend them because nobody's there or they're leaving. When she did that, did you know that he was spiraling or going to spiral?
Absolutely. That's the moment he started sweating on his top lip. He started screaming. He was focusing all his attention on the moderators. He didn't look at her at all. His energy was just elevated from that point forward. He couldn't calm himself down. So I knew she got him.
He was turning more and more orange every minute. Well, brushing off Trump's crazy comments, the vice president then went on to proudly claim that the former president is simply upset that 81 million people. Kamala, why you say this? This was where she threw shade in a classy way. She said 81 million people had already fired him. He was hurt. This is what happened. Listen.
But I do want to ask you about something that's come up in the last couple of days. This was a post from President Trump about this upcoming election just weeks away. He said, when I win, those people who cheated, and then he lists donors, voters, election officials, he says will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, which will include long-term prison sentences. One of your campaign's top lawyers responded saying, we won't let Donald Trump intimidate us. We won't let him suppress the vote. Is that what you believe he's trying to do here?
Donald Trump was fired by 81 million people. So let's be clear about that. And clearly he is having a very difficult time processing that. But we cannot afford to have a president of the United States who attempts, as he did in the past, to upend the will of the voters in a free and fair election. And I'm going to tell you that I have traveled the world as Vice President of the United States, and world leaders are laughing at Donald Trump. I have talked with military leaders, some of whom worked with you, and they say you're a disgrace. And when you then talk in this way in a presidential debate and deny what over and over again are court cases you have lost because you did, in fact, lose that election, it leads one to believe that perhaps we do not have in the candidate to my right the temperament or the ability to not be confused about fact. That's deeply troubling, and the American people deserve better.
I'll give you 1 minute to respond, Mr.
Viktor Orban said it. He said the most respected, most feared person is Donald Trump. We had no problems when Trump was president, but when this weak, pathetic man that you saw at a debate just a few months ago, that if he weren't in that debate, he'd be running instead of her. She got no votes. He got 14 million votes. What you did, you talk about a threat to democracy. He got 14 million votes, and they threw him out of office. And you know what? I'll give you a little secret. He hates her. He can't stand her. But he got 14 million votes. They threw him out. She got 0 votes. And when she ran, she was the first one to leave because she failed. And now she's running. I don't understand it, but I'm okay with it because
your time is
I think
up.
we're going to do very well.
We've got a lot more to get to.
I've been fired before, but 81 million people seems dramatic. Was that clever?
It was, because, you know, that's his famous line, "You're fired." So she threw his line back in his face, and it was enough to, like, make him go over the edge.
Well, Donnie continued to buckle and even backslid when his past comments about Kamala's racial identity came up. Remember, he went to the National Association of Black Journalists conference, and in that conference, he said that she flip-flops on her race. Well, when they brought it up at the debate, this is what he had to say.
I want to ask a bigger picture question here tonight. Why do you believe it's appropriate to weigh in on the racial identity of your opponent?
I don't, and I don't care. I don't care what she is. I don't care. You make a big deal out of something. I couldn't care less. Whatever she wants to be is okay with me.
But those were your words, so I'm asking.
I don't know. I mean, all I can say is I read where she was not black, that she put out, and I'll say that. And then I read that she was black, and that's okay. Either one was okay with me. That's up to her. That's up to her.
Vice President Harris, your thoughts on this?
I think it's, I mean, honestly, I think it's a tragedy that we have someone who wants to be president who has consistently, over the course of his career, attempted to use race to divide the American people. You know, I do believe that the vast majority of us know that we have so much more in common than what separates us, and we don't want this kind of approach that is just constantly trying to divide us, and especially by race. And let's remember how Donald Trump started. He was land, he owned buildings, and he was investigated because he refused to rent property to black families. Let's remember, this is the same individual who took out a full-page ad in the New York Times calling for the execution of 5 young black and Latino boys who were innocent, the Central Park 5. Took out a full-page ad calling for their execution. This is the same individual who spread birther lies about the first black president of the United States. And I think the American people want better than that, want better than this, want someone who understands, as I do, I travel our country. We see in each other a friend. We see in each other a neighbor. We don't want a leader who is constantly trying to have Americans point their fingers at each other. I meet with people all the time who tell me, can we please just have discourse about how we're going to invest in the aspirations and the ambitions and the dreams of the American people? knowing that regardless of people's color or the language their grandmother speaks, we all have the same dreams and aspirations and want a president who invests in those, not in hate and division.
Vice President Harris, thank you.
Now, let's be very clear. It was a fight. Donald, you lost. You lost the fight. It was not your best night. When they asked you what your plans are, you said, I'm not even president yet, that you'll figure it out. Like, this is literally like you came to a debate, which is almost like an interview for a job, unprepared, seemingly unqualified, next to the district attorney, attorney general, vice president of the United States. You've been attacking her all along the way, so you knew you were coming up against a trial prosecutor. I mean, a prosecutor. You knew you were going up against an attorney, a trial attorney. You knew you were going up against somebody who, if you even just go look at her YouTube interactions as a senator, she was dragging people for filth. You knew what you were going to. If you sized up your opponent and didn't think as a narcissist that you just had it in the bag, you would know that you were getting ready to go up against a very smart, trained politician. And for that, you lost. Was it evident that he lost, or was there any area where he could have looked like he won?
No, I think it's evident for people who aren't like on the train of Trump, who will support him through anything. And I think that was her goal. So going into it, I think she just had to convince like independent voters and people who were kind of on the fence. So to me, it was evident to most people. Even a lot of Republicans were coming out at the time of the debate and saying he lost this one, but at least, you know, she didn't stay on topic enough. She didn't win people over. That was a conversation. But I think most people are in agreement she won this debate.
Now, there were a few things that she said that she was going to do, like the $6,000 tax credit for families, that she was going to do a $50,000 tax credit for small businesses, and there were some good things, a few of them, I think 3. But I still feel in many ways she took no responsibility for this administration, stuff that they have not done right. I think that she was very clear on where she stood with Israel and us being loyal to our allies, but that's the foreign policy stuff. I think, you know, getting more to like what you're going to do to stabilize the local economy, which they inherited a bad economy, which she talked about. And I don't think people understand how this works. The president, before the president comes in office, they pretty much will kind of, you know, if they come into a bad economy and then they make it good, they then hand it off to another president that is a good economy. And then when it goes south, that next president that comes in, you can't say, well, that economy was good. They inherited that. And if you think before Trump, we had a good economy. But again, none of us were too busy watching the baddies, so we don't know what's going on. You know it's bad when the Dems say you lost. But, baby, even Fox News weighed in, and Donnie, I ain't say it. That's what they said. Take a listen.
Look, make no mistake about it. Trump had a bad night. He rose to the bait repeatedly when she baited him, something I'm sure his advisors had begged him not to do. You know, in the first debate when Biden attacked him, he just kept his cool and kept going. In this debate, he rose to a debate, and we heard so many of the old grievances that we'd long thought that Trump had learned were not winners politically. Mm-hmm. And there they all were, you know, talking about how he didn't lose the election and all that. I mean, so my sense is that she came out of this in pretty good shape. Now, how long this will last and is anybody's guess. But for tonight, at least, this was pretty much her night.
You're saying she had a good night?
I'm saying she certainly did.
Trump did so poorly that he dug up a single old cat lady named Taylor Swift. She officially endorsed Kamala following the tragic event that we all witnessed. And this is what she posted to her Instagram for millions of people to see. She posted her with a cat. Beautiful picture with a cat. By the way, she's not single. She is dating the man that Rob wants to sleep with. And this is what she had to say. She went on to say that she watched the debate. And if you haven't already, now's a great time to do your research on the issues at hand and the stances these candidates take on their topics that matter to you the most. As a voter, I make sure to watch and read everything I can about their proposed policies and plans for this country. She said that, you know, she commented on the fact that there was a recent AI endorsement of her, a fake endorsement of her endorsing Donald Trump. And that it was posted on his site, which he said that, you know, he claimed that it was a real endorsement when we all know it wasn't. Another time of him lying to the American people. And she went ahead and said that she was going to cast her vote for Kamala, and she sent that to more people than there are in countries. That's how serious this is. Do you think Taylor Swift's endorsement is going to move the needle?
Yes, I think it already has moved the needle. I think they said roughly 400,000 people visited the website that the government has about voting. So she's already increasing the awareness about voting. She's already increasing voter registration. Do I think all of those people are in turn going to vote? I don't know. But I do think if you're an undecided person who was debating on voting for Kamala because you didn't agree with her foreign policies or whatever, I think if you're a Taylor Swift fan, a lot of those hardcore Swifties are going to support Kamala Harris.
And there was lots of conversation about whether Beyonce is a bigger artist than Taylor, or Taylor's bigger artist than Beyonce. And Taylor beat you to endorsing Kamala.
I think
she let her use her freedom song, but that's like.
And she gave a cease and desist to Donnie for using her song.
She didn't come out and say on an Instagram post that I fully endorse this black woman for president.
That she did not.
So Beyonce, you got beat by Taylor. And I know the Beehive isn't going to like that, but this was another opportunity. If you weren't so mad about your country album not getting nominated for a country award, for real. I know people are going to get mad and drag me, but I'm telling the truth. I kind of feel like sometimes we as a people be focused on the wrong shit. Right now, we have an opportunity to push her across the finish line. Mm-hmm. And it ain't even just because she's black. Let's be very clear. I don't think you should just get a job because you black. I ain't one of them blacks, so everybody got to be black. Because he will tell you, when I started Hollywood Unlocked, everybody had to be black. Agent black, attorney black. And guess what? Some of them blacks didn't show up and do the job. Am I lying?
Not lying.
But I was trying to stay true to the culture. True. Black, everything. My dermatologist black, makeup artist black, everybody black, because I believe in investing in my community, my culture. But I also believe in getting the right person, the best, most qualified person, decent person for the job. And in this case, I believe it's her. So where is everybody at? I see Plies online more than Beyonce. I see Plies. Let me give Plies a round of applause, because Plies.
I agree.
I don't know what your country has to be saying half the time, but what I do know is you are using your platform responsibly. YG, those of you who are out there pushing, not like those Spanish artists who he gonna throw toilet paper at next time you get into a hurricane out there endorsing. You guys are foolish. You look dumb just because y'all get to hang. It's like there's only one rich white man, one rich orange man in your life. Y'all got to get better friends. This one right here, as much as her team has annoyed me, and as much as we have, baby, when I tell you we have behind the scenes, Rob, am I lying?
No, not at all.
It is a fight, but it's a fight that I love they let me have in a way that's democratic, because that's what we should be living in. Mm-hmm. Not in an anti-democracy, anti-democratic world where one person's opinion matters, one person's voice matters. And in this instance, this was night or day. This was not about right or left. This was not about Democrat, Republican. This was about democracy or die. And I think, again, Fox News believes she did a great job. Well, the next morning, Trump said, what are y'all talking about? I did great. He went over to Fox and Friends, and he says that he likes Brittany Mahomes, who liked a post of his that he then turned into endorsement, who's wife of the guy who's wife of Patrick Mahomes. He's the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, who is Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift's boyfriend. He's on their team, so he's trying to pit the girls against each other. He went on there and said he likes her more than Taylor. Listen.
Hey, I've got a quick question for you. Out of nowhere, after the debate last night, Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala Harris. What do you think?
Well, I actually like Mrs. I actually like Mrs. Mahomes much better, if you want to know the truth. She's a big Trump fan. I was not a Taylor Swift fan. It was just a question of time. You couldn't possibly endorse Biden. You look at Biden, you couldn't possibly endorse him. But she's a very liberal person. She seems to always endorse a Democrat, and she'll probably pay a price for it in the marketplace. But no, I like Brittany. I think Brittany's great. Brittany got a lot of news last week. She's a big MAGA fan. That's the one I like much better than Taylor Swift.
Right. Brittany is
Mahomes.
Yeah, they're Mahomes. They're great friends.
The wife of the great quarterback, and he is a great quarterback.
My favorite team from Kansas City.
I think she's terrific.
All right.
Bitch, you tried it.
Petty.
And one of them moves the needle and the other doesn't. So
we don't care what what that man's wife has to say or what she likes on Instagram. We don't care. Despite his obvious poor performance at the debate, Trump claims that he won and he don't need to do another round against Kamala because he said what he said. Listen.
President,
debate. I don't know that I want to do another debate.
Right. So you do, right at the end, as I was interrupting. So you don't know if you want to do another debate. It sounds like you're a no.
Well, I'd be less inclined to because we had a great night. We won the debate. We had a terrible network. I think they were terrible. They should be embarrassed. I mean, they kept correcting me, and what I said was largely right, or I hope it was right. But what they said was absolutely wrong. The other, what she said, and they refused to correct. I even complained a couple of times. Why aren't you correcting them? Look, they should have corrected 6 or 7 times. She told an outright lie. Another one is Project 2025. They know it has nothing to do with me. She mentioned it all night long, and they refused to correct it. And everybody knows I have nothing to do with Project 2025.
I will just one thing.
But I am not inclined to do it because I won the debate by a lot. But I think we let it settle in and let's see what happens.
Now, in all fairness to Trump, everybody online is saying that it was 3 versus 1, that the 2 moderators were working with her, that the network was this or that. And on the way here today, I saw on Hollywood Unlocked that he's not doing it anymore. I think he should do another one on Fox because she agreed to do one on Fox.
No, I think they agreed to do one on NBC.
No, meaning before this last one on ABC, they had agreed to do one on Fox. Kamala was like, pick the network. I don't care. Because she flexing them big old political muscles. She telling you right now, I'm Bay Area strong, baby. The thing y'all don't know about Stockton, San Francisco, Oakland, the whole Bay, we are savages. We are savages. I learned a lot from the vice president, and the next time I see her, I'm going to walk up to her. I ain't even going to, because I do hug her when I see her. Because, I mean, I didn't know what you're supposed to do, bow, shake a hand. Well, first time I met her, I said, do I bow? Do I shake a hand? She was like, no, you can give me a hug. I gave her a hug. Well, look, next time I see her, Kamala, I'm doing this. Ugh. Because she ate that. Ate. But you guys got to register to vote. And here's the deal. It's not just about a moment in time where I will criticize her. I do want to hear more on your policy. I want to hear how you're going to fix shit. I want to hear how you're going to dig deeper into the culture and connect in a real, true, authentic way. I want to hear how black media could be used as more than an ornament. I want to hear how if you're the DEI queen and you believe in diversity and equity inclusion, how do you put some of that campaign money in black-owned media companies? Start walking the talk. Don't just give good debates and show up and read a teleprompter. Actually get out here and get asked hard questions. If you don't come here, go to Joe. No, don't go to Joe Budden. I'm coming for you, girl. Go to the Breakfast Club. Go somewhere where the culture exists.
No, she should come here.
I mean, come here, of course. I mean, we have already been talking about it. She's scheduled to come here. So, I love the vice president as a human being. One, I'll tell you my reasons why. One, out of all the presidents of the United States, vice president or whatever, she has been hands down the single only real one who's welcomed us in the White House, welcomed us in her house. She's sat down with me here and took an hour to actually hear my thoughts, my views. She took notes of those, made sure her team took notes. She was very attentive. When I see her, she's very connected to whatever my interest is at the time. She allows me to talk to her like a human being, not as some unicorn. When Impact Awards, she provided a video for us to say how much she supports what we do for the culture. So, like, for me, she's already personally supported. And I don't know if you got this, which I'm sure you did because you're in it every day. When they start talking about the Affordable Care Act, don't your ears listen differently now?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because we are actively making sure Americans have access to health care. And that man, that orange man, he is going to get rid of it. He said, I want to get rid of Obamacare, but he has no solution to replace it.
So we have Healthcare Unlocked, where we help low-income families get access to $0 affordable quality healthcare. And so we're in that every day. We've helped thousands and thousands and thousands of Americans, and that's something that was created by Barack Obama. He wants to get rid of it. And when they asked what his plan was, he was like, he ain't got a plan, but if there's a plan that's better, he'll fix it. Like, there's no plan. The plan is out there. It's called Project 2025. And part of that would be getting away from the system of healthcare that we know now. We know healthcare isn't perfect in this country, but it's because of them. It's not because of them. Doesn't mean I'm not happy all the time with the Democrats either, because y'all shit is a mess. So get it together. All right, next topic. All right. Well, this one right here has me really frustrated. I don't know if you all have seen this, but driving while black is still a thing in this country. And if you're not really dialed into politics, this is why you have to elect people who make decisions on a local level over who your mayor and police chiefs are, your judges, your district attorneys, and then all the way up to the president. Because there's clearly not only an undertone at this point of racism in our country, it's just right there for you to see. And we saw it the other day, in my opinion, with Miami Dolphins star Tyreek Hill. Now, he's been trending after a recent viral arrest. This video was seen by everybody across the world. In fact, I was on the phone with a friend of mine in Paris who was watching it when it was happening in real time. Last Sunday, while pulling up to the Hard Rock Stadium for his season opening game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, Tyreek Hill was pulled over for a moving violation, which escalated to him being yanked from his car, thrown on the ground, and he was later released and cited with reckless driving. Cops said that he was driving 60 miles an hour in a 40-mile zone. So driving 20 miles over the limit led to what I'm about to show you right now. Take a look.
How's your speeding? Go forward. Yeah, we got him here. 6 o'clock. Why don't you have your seatbelt on?
Don't knock on my window.
Why don't you have your seatbelt on?
Don't knock on my window like that, though.
Like what?
Don't knock on my window like that.
Why you have it up?
Don't knock on my window like that.
Why you have it up? I have to knock to let you know I'm here. That way you can lower it and talk to you.
Just get my ticket, bro, so I can go. I'm finna be late, gang. Do what you gotta do.
Keep it down. Hey! Keep your window down. Hey! Keep your window down. Keep your window down. I'm gonna get you out of the car. As a matter of fact, get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Give me that. I'm gonna break that freaking window.
Get out of the car.
I'm finna get out.
Get out of the car right now. We're not playing this game. Get out.
Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Damn. What part of violence you understand? Hey, Drew, I'm getting arrested, Drew. I'm getting arrested. I'm getting arrested, Drew. I'm getting out, bro. God damn, twin.
When we tell you to do something, you do it. You understand?
I'm getting out.
You understand? Not what you want, but what we tell you.
I'm getting
You're a little
out.
fucking confused.
I'm getting out, bro.
Too late.
Chill,
Too
bro.
late.
All right, bro. Take me to jail, bro. Do what you gotta do, bro.
We are. We will.
Good, bro.
It is good.
Hey, Drew. Hey.
Don't worry about it. I hung up the phone. Stop crying.
Bro, y'all.
Don't move.
Good. Bro, you beating on my window like you crazy.
You set him up?
Why y'all beating on my window like y'all crazy for? Damn, yo, bro, dude, beating on my window like he crazy. I ain't do nothing to him.
First of all, Tyreek, you were being an asshole. Let's start with that. But being an asshole is not enough for that. So I'm going to be fair. You were a little bit entitled because you're rich and you're on the way to your job, and it was an inconvenience for you to get pulled over for speeding. That's called being an asshole. And you've done some other assholey things. I can't remember what you went viral for before, but it doesn't matter. That doesn't give people the right to treat you like that. And what happened was you had these fat, unhealthy police officers pull you over while they were working their hard-ass job, not making half the money you make, pulling you over in a car that they probably didn't believe you deserved to have, and that whatever rapper job you were on your way to, whatever studio session or smoke out that they probably thought you were doing because you were a black man, driving this beautiful car, they thought that the audacity for you to talk to them any kind of way. Well, when you protect and serve, you don't get to, it's not protect and be submissive. It's protect and serve. And while he was being an asshole by rolling up the window, you could have given him warnings and then bust the window out. You could have done those things, but you didn't. The way you yanked him and cussed and all that, as red as you were, you looked like a Latino Santa Claus by the time you were done with it, the officer. you clearly lost it, and you felt like he was disrespecting you, and you personalized it. And I understand being a police officer, it's a high stressful job, and so you're probably feeling some type of way. Maybe you didn't get maybe you didn't have sex the night before, your dinner wasn't ready, your kids or they want haircuts, life was probably weighing you down. Well, clearly it was weighing you down. We can look at you. And you took it out on this black man. You didn't know that it was a black man that was going to go viral and be up on the JLP podcast and all over the world, people now talking about it. Well, in that video, you did what happens to a lot of black men and women all over the country. We just had the woman whose house she called 911 and y'all went up in there and killed her, shot her in the face right there for the world to see because you do it. And that again, and I don't want to make this a political thing, but that's another reason why I'm running, because city council allows you to have a say in how you police communities and how you hold people accountable. The way that I'm building structure for the city's police department in my own city will live on even after my term is done, but it will have put more checks and balances in how policing is done for the people. This was clearly a violation, in my opinion, of his human rights, the way you did him. When you saw it, what did you say?
I said the exact same thing. It was a violation of his civil rights, his human rights. Again, the thing that the cop said when he was cuffing him is a shining example of how they function. You don't get to do what the fuck you want to. You do what I say. He's not your child. He's not your dog. He was well within his rights to do what he did. He can be an asshole. Like you said, it's not illegal to be an asshole. So you don't get to violate his civil rights because you felt offended that this black person in a fancy car was not doing what you told him to do in the moment.
And even that to be true, this is why we got to be smarter when we get pulled over from these people because, absent being a celebrity, this could have went down a whole other way. He could have bashed the window out. When you started, I could see through the glass you were moving your seatbelt. He could have thought you were reaching for a gun and justified shooting. They figure out how to get around the rules. We got to know when we're pulled over how to handle that. Well, Tyreek and his teammates eventually made it to the field that day after scoring a touchdown. He even reenacted the arrest on the field. Look. So you mean to tell me y'all gonna kick Colin Kaepernick out the whole league because he took a knee, but this man reenacted an arrest by the Miami police and he didn't get removed? Not that he should have, but I'm just saying, they should be able to use their platform to talk about their rights. He did it that way. Colin did it by taking his knee. But anyway, y'all watching the Super Bowl halftime show, y'all don't even care anymore. Well, the Miami-Dade Police Department director soon announced that the officer involved in Tyreek's arrest was put on administrative leave and under investigation. But the police union said that he acted within his rights and that Tyreek was removed from his car and handcuffed because he drove dangerously, was uncooperative, and became a danger to himself and to others. Is that what y'all say? That's the line they use. That must be in the police officer union playbook. Well, Tyreek's legal team and his agent, they ain't buying that. After the client was roughed up, his agent, Drew Rosenhaw, called for the officer involved to be fired. This is what he said.
But none of the police officers involved there showed any remorse or were apologetic. But our goal is to make sure that they are in the near future, that they are disciplined. For the police officers there that kicked him, that put him in a chokehold, that ripped him out of the car, that threw him on the ground, that put their knee on him. We want those officers to be disciplined and to make sure that they never do that again to anybody else who doesn't actually deserve that type of treatment.
What is the discipline you want?
For me personally, I think that police officers that did that to Tyreek shouldn't be in that position. They should be let go. Look at the guy that just kicked him right there. That guy should be fired. That's out of control. The guy that jumped in, put him in a chokehold. There's no place for a police officer to have a badge that operates like that when Tyreek wasn't being aggressive or violent or fighting back in any capacity. That was horrendous how they treated him. They didn't treat him like a human being. There's no place for police officers to be on the force.
Drew, I agree with that. Does Tyreek agree with you, though?
I of course.
He wants them fired. He thinks they should be fired?
Well, I'll let Tyreek speak to that. That's my opinion. He and I have not had that specific discussion, but certainly I would recommend to Tyreek and the legal team that that's something that we pursue. I think he deserves an apology from each and every one of those police officers involved, and the ones that abuse their authority and power should not be on the force.
Tyreek's lawyer, Julius Collins, called the officers overzealous, attempting to impose their authority on his client. He said that they're considering all options, including legal action. Meanwhile, the attorneys for the officer said that his administrative leave was premature and that he should be immediately reinstated. Remember, we're talking about Florida, by the way, because that also matters. Florida is a different type of state. Florida is also a stand-your-ground state. So, that could have really went really left. Tyreek later took some of the blame for the incident escalating, but still admitted the cops had no right. Here's what he had to say.
Everything, my whole life is all about accountability. How can I get better, So right now, I have family members who are cops. We've had conversations. Yes, I will say I could have been better. I could have let down my window, in that instant. But the thing about me is, man, I don't want attention. I don't want to be cameras out, phones on you, in that moment. But at the end of the day, I'm human. I gotta follow rules. I gotta, do what everyone else would do. So now, does that give them the right to literally beat the dog out of me? Absolutely not. But at the end of the day, I wish I could go back and, do things a bit differently. I feel like I handled myself well in that situation, but obviously, like I said, I can be better. But it's shell shocking, man. It's really crazy to know that, you have officers in this world that would literally do that with body cams on. It's sad. It's really sad. Which brings up another conversation and leads into what would they do if they didn't have body cams, which is even crazier. So,
your lawyer has come out and said that he's looking for the dismissal of the officer.
Gone.
So you want the officer to be
gone. He got to go, man. Because in that instant right there, not only did he treat me bad, you know what I'm saying, he also treated my teammates with, disrespect. He had some crazy words towards them, and they ain't even do nothing. What did they do to you? They just walking on the sidewalk. So, I don't know, bro. He got to go, man.
That was for your publicist, not for you. I don't believe that. What that body cam showed us is who you really are. It showed us that you are somewhat of an elitist asshole and how you handled that, but it still doesn't give them the right to do what they did. So both were wrong, but they were even more wrong because of how they handled you. What I would have loved to hear from you, Tyreek, is, after seeing myself on that camera, I see many opportunities to have acted differently, and I'm a role model to young kids, and people are watching. So for that, I wish I would have handled it better. And my family are police officers, and I can only imagine the type of thing they go through, and I will be better next time, or something like that. Your publicist told you to go clean that up because whatever endorsement deal you got, it'd be like going live and having sex. We're going to talk about that later. All right. Well, anyway, bye, Tyreek. Stay out of trouble. All right. Speaking of trouble, Krishan Rock is out of jail. Why are you slow to clap?
I'm not slow to clap. Did I look slow to clap?
You're not happy. You look like Donald Trump walking out to Kamala Harris right now.
God, please. I'm happy for anybody.
You don't like Krishan?
No, I don't not like Krishan. I'm just not. I don't listen to her music.
Turn the page, Rob. Turn the page. Turn the page.
I don't rock to her music. I'm not a big follower of Krishan. I'm happy she's out of jail.
Why are you so shady? I congratulated this single mother from getting out of jail, and you were slow to clap, like you did not want to clap. Did you feel forced to clap?
It was. Hey.
Do you like Krishan?
Yeah, I think she's funny.
Then why was the shade?
There was no shade.
Okay.
There was no shade.
Krishan's out of jail. Well, she's been released from jail, and she's been reunited with her baby, Krishan Jr. Now, as a reminder, Krishan was arrested back in June after walking into a L.A. area courthouse looking for Blueface. And when she went looking for Blueface, they locked her up because she was in probation. She was in a violation for probation, and this was in connection to the Tamar Braxton concert assault case. Let me put a pin in that real quick. I saw Tamar the other night. Did I tell you?
No. Oh, yes, at the
BMI Music
yes.
Award. I went to the BMI R&B and Hip Hop Awards as a guest of Babyfaces, and in the middle of the dinner, and this is the thing where, like, my friends, people who want to be my friend, they find themselves in these real peculiar, how you say that word? Peculiar.
Yeah.
It sounds peculiar.
Peculiar. Yeah.
Peculiar.
Yeah.
Peculiar.
Peculiar.
Say it again.
Peculiar.
Peculiar. Wait, how do I say it? Peculiar. Peculiar.
Peculiar. Now I can't say
Peculiar. How do I say the word?
Peculiar.
Peculiar. Wait, peculiar. Wait, how do you say this fucking word? I can't go on.
Should I ask Google to pronounce it?
Peculiar. Hold on. Hey Siri. How do I pronounce peculiar? Say it. Hey Siri, say that word.
Okay, I found this on the web for say that word.
No. Siri. Hey Siri. How do you say peculiar?
Sure. Translate into which language?
English.
You can
Hold on. Hey Siri. How do you pronounce the word peculiar?
The word peculiar is pronounced as articular with emphasis on the second syllable.
Hey,
The answer is from spell check.
Hey Siri, can you repeat that answer?
The word peculiar is pronounced as articular with emphasis on the second syllable.
Peculiar.
No.
Peculiar.
Peculiar.
Peculiar. Wait, say it again. Peculiar.
Peculiar.
Peculiar. Right.
Yes.
Okay, wait. I don't even know why the fuck I was using the word now.
I don't
Hold
either.
on. Hey Siri, can you give me the definition of peculiar?
As an adjective, peculiar means strange or odd, unusual.
I find myself putting my friends in a peculiar situation because it's strange or odd when Babyface invites you to the BMI Awards and you're sitting next to him when Tamar's singing Superwoman by Karen White to him in front of a whole room. It was also ironic that she was singing Superwoman on the same day that her and her man were. Anyway, the whole night was peculiar, okay? Peculiar. It was weird as fuck, okay? Well, anyway, she was in jail as a result of that girl, Tamar. And then she was extradited to Oklahoma last month in connection to a drug case where prosecutors are accusing Krishan of being in possession of controlled dangerous substances with intent to distribute and failure to have a tax stamp affixed on the drugs. Was it social media? Because that's the only drug we want her to kick, apparently. Now, if convicted on both of those charges, she faces up to 8 years in prison. But for now, she's back home just days after her son Krishan Jr.'s first birthday. Now, she took to her Instagram to let us all know about this release with the video of her and her son and a whole lengthy caption. This is what she said. So this is her crying after the release, and she's showing like multiple moments with her and her baby, which is cute because we want to see her with her kid. And this is what she said: to be with you today, set free a couple days from your birthday is a blessing. Happy 1 year old, September 3rd, to Krishan Jesus Porter. I love you, children. I love you. Children are a heritage from the Lord, offspring a reward from him. And then she went into other things. You can go and look at her Instagram. Now, she also went live and teased fans about some big things going on behind the scenes. Take a look.
but this is me in the flesh. I just wanted to be in the flesh right now. Not the flesh, in the spirit. I ain't gonna hold you. But, shit. Y'all just, I can't win. I mean, I'm gonna win.
All day. It's already written.
Hey, yo, you know, I really want to cut up. But I got so much stuff. Oh, my God. It's so much I want to say. But I like surprising y'all. This is fun. The little anticipation is crazy. I am released, though. Spill the tea. Man, I'm about to get up off here. I'm getting scared already.
Fear, no fear.
Yeah, no, not scared, but it's like, why would I spoil whatever? I don't know. I want to tell you. Okay, let me just say thank you, Lord. Okay, thank you, Jesus, for this this revamp. I got all my, well, I'm getting all my stuff out the way so I can like be effective and just in my son's life for real. And then I ain't gonna hold you. I'm working on my purity, y'all. Like that's, you know how people like, oh yeah, I'm getting my life together. I gotta get my money. No, it's really like, yeah, I know. And then like, just really walking that walk, talking that talk. I don't really got nothing bad to say. But thank you for everybody that did love with me through this hard time. I'm gonna get paid for the rest I got to say.
Right back to being Krishan. Do you think she's gonna change? Don't be peculiar now, because you already made it clear you're not a big supporter.
She looks like she's.
Stop being PG. Do you think she's gonna change or not?
No,
Me
I
neither.
don't think she's gonna change, and that she now has a little lisp that I didn't notice until now.
She'd always talk like that.
No, I think I don't know.
It's the tooth.
It's the tooth.
But yeah, I think Krishan is Krishan now. She has texted me. There's a lot of God in the conversation now, and
Good.
That's good. But she was saying that she doesn't feel comfortable because she knows she can't control herself, and it's just a matter of time before she crashes out because of all of you. Well, either way, it also looks like after much back and forth regarding her son's father, Blueface, has been confirmed as the daddy as Krishan updates their son's name from Krishan Malone Jr. to Krishan Jesus Porter. Here's a photo of that. Okay. Well, although Krishan is back home, Blueface is still locked up as he finishes his 4-year prison sentence. Now, my understanding, he only has to do 10 months. Now, in January, he's taken into custody during a court hearing over a probation violation linked to the 2021 assault of a security guard at a club in San Fernando Valley. In August, we exclusively reported that Blueface was sentenced to 4 years in prison for the violation, but that he would not be serving the full term, and like I said, will be out in about 10 months. His picture came out. He updated his mugshot. I'm going to just show you what it looked like. Take a look. You don't look the same. You got to get out and lose some weight and get a better haircut and get some skincare, right? But he'll bounce back. I mean, he looked like he's supposed to look. He in prison.
Yeah.
He ain't got nobody to track in there. All right. Well, Krishan, look, I posted on my Instagram that I hope you do well. I wish you do well. I want you to be working. A lot of you slam me for saying that we want her back on social media and reality TV. That is what she does for a living. That is her job, and that's where she needs to be in order to make money. Which I want her to go be a medical assistant. Would you want her to go be a radiology technologist or a bus driver? No, she's an entertainer. That's what she does. And I want her to get back to work so she could take care of her kid. You know, the thing that I find interesting about Krishan is that as annoying as I know she can be and as toxic as she can be, it is the train wreck that all of you live for secretly. You want to see it. You want to be involved with it. You want to be annoyed by it. You want to gossip about it. You want to tell everybody how horrible it is, but you're going to be peeking under the covers to see what her and Blueface are doing. I, for one, cannot wait for him to get out so he can come back on this show and hopefully get his look back together. But either way, you guys can't consume enough of it. And if she did a show on the Zeus Network right now, you all would subscribe and you couldn't wait. And another thing is that we need to stop throwing people away when they make mistakes or when they're a mess or whatever, because you know what? There was a time when my mom was a mess and she was in her storm, and guess what? She didn't have the support or resources that this girl has. Now, she don't take full advantage of them, but either way, we got to stop throwing our people away whenever they're not all buttoned up like you. And by the way, if I followed you with a camera all day, what would we see? Picking your butt and smelling your fingers, doing all types of weird shit that people do when nobody's looking, picking boogers. People do weird stuff.
Oh, yeah.
What do you do?
Oh, God, we're not going to go there. What do you do?
Next. Bye. Now, I'm going to say this, and before I say this, I want everybody to hold on, because I know I only have 50-something days left for the election, and I know my opinions sometimes go viral, and people start to run all over. Let me start by saying, and I mean this, I need you to hear everything I say, because you only pick and choose what you want. I love the hell out of this artist right here. I love her. I don't?
No, you do. I'm just,
I'm
preparing for what you're about to say.
You know more than anybody how much I love this one.
I do.
Beyonce, at one point in my life, was like,
yeah,
God.
Mm-hmm.
Not God,
Not,
Jesus,
yeah,
but you know what I mean?
like the queen.
Like the queen. And she is, in many ways, still Queen Mother.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me start by saying that. Now, I thought about this morning before I even knew I was going to talk about this today, and I don't mean this in a bad way. I don't even really know how to explain how I'm going to say what I'm going to say, because I still love her. I'm just not in love with her like I used to be. That's the nicest way I can say it, only because I'm annoyed by how fake she comes off. Her brand, not her. I don't think Beyonce is fake, just like I don't think Kamala Harris is a bad person, but sometimes your team can make you move in a way that does not translate well. And as I become deeper into both the culture, pop culture, celebrity culture, this and that, and have looked at the whole world, I kind of have a better sense on what's real and authentic and true and what's kind of manufactured. Does this make sense so far?
Yeah.
Okay. Beyonce is hands down one of the best singer-performers ever, not just of this generation, of any time, of all times. And I love her. And I traveled all over their shows. You know, I spent $40,000 buying tickets to go see this girl. I love her. But y'all got her selling whiskey now, hair care products, a perfume that she did one post about and none of us have talked about. That perfume has come and gone. I don't know if it smells like Raid or if it smells like Killian or what it smells like, because nobody. Do you have the perfume? Have you bought the perfume? No. Have you bought Fenty?
Yes.
Have you bought Fenty? I'm wearing Fenty.
Me too.
I'm just saying, it's like, you know what I'm saying so far? Like, Beyonce is a singer, performer. She is not a brand. And more recently, because they're treating her brand like a flea market, like you can go there and find everything now. It's like, what am I doing? House of Darion, you want me to buy clothes named after your grandma? Hair care line where you're putting it on wigs. Then it's whiskey. We didn't even know you drank. We know you should drink champagne, but whiskey? Anyway, so that's how I'm feeling. I want Beyonce to be the queen mother of music. Like, that is what she did. You just can't sell nothing else. When Kanye left Adidas, they took your line, Ivy Park, they parked it right up out of there in an Ivy League way, straight out. You can't sell anything other than that. You need to drop a floral line because you always send in white flowers to people. Maybe you drop a floral line. I don't know. I just don't see anything for you other than music. And I don't think the world is ready for you to do anything but sing, dance, and go away and be a mom and a wife. She built the whole brand off of posting on Instagram with no captions. Now all of a sudden we watching her wash her hair. When I saw her washing her hair the other day, it made me kind of sad because it's like you built yourself up to be this unicorn and now you want to be human. We're not accepting that, right? Right? He don't want to say it because he's afraid y'all going to send pizzas to his house. Every time I say something crazy, he gets attacked. But this is true. Beyonce is a phenomenal singer, artist, the best ever. She is a horrible, horrible, horrible brand. One, you need to fire your publicist, Yvette Noshore. She's been with you for 59,000 years, and it's time for you to move on. You got rid of Kim Burch. She moved over to J-Lo. Then you got somebody different. You got rid of Frank Gatson. You got a different choreographer. You know, you have turned over everybody in your team but your publicist, and right now your brand is not landing because you have a publicist who I loved but she's of a particular decade that is still very much like she could do anything or you could do anything because you're Beyonce. No, that is not how the world of social media works. You know that better than anybody. And I love you, Beyonce, but nobody's going to tell you. It's sort of like you in the room and everybody had the meeting but you. I'm just telling you what was said at the meeting. Well, that also applies to country music. Now, country music belongs to us as a people, as a culture, black people. We started country music. I learned that through Beyonce. And there were a lot of singers like K. Michelle that y'all shaded and didn't even show no love to K. Michelle been fighting to sing country music for a long time, and you shade her probably because she's blacker than Beyonce, probably because she's country, probably because she's not as famous or not as big or not as loud or not as important to you because she's not Beyonce. Well, when Beyonce decided that she was going to drop Act 2, which was going to be this country thing, Cowboy Carter, which is actually a beautiful album, by the way. Again, she's one of the best singers ever, best performers. Didn't drop a lot of visuals, but whatever. She went and uplifted a lot of black country performers like Shabuzi, who's doing this thing now, and there's all these black country artists who are thriving because of Beyonce, and that will go down as part of her legacy, that she has deeply uprooted this belief that we can't reclaim our time or reclaim our brands. She's done that. Well, now, after having a successful and historic run with Cowboy Carter, this country-inspired album, Beyonce received 0 nominations. 0 at this year's CMA Awards. Now, Beyonce not only made history as the first black woman to go to top of the Billboard charts for country album, but she also helped country legend Dolly Parton surpass 20 million monthly listeners on Spotify after featuring her on Cowboy Carter. And although B insisted that her album wasn't a country album, but rather a Beyonce album, fans were still kind of shocked to see that when the Country Music Association announced their nominations for this year, that B was nowhere to be found on the list. Were you surprised? This the same black girl who went and sung with the Dixie Chicks, and people were mad that she did that. It's the same Beyonce who, when she played Cowboy Carter, the radio stations were saying, don't play it. So why were you surprised? Just like Jay-Z standing there on the Grammys stage wondering why she wasn't given Album of the Year, when she holds an award, more Grammys than any artist ever in history. The reason why everybody's so mad over at the Carter camp is because they secretly want white people to continue to accept them everywhere. And when they're eating dinner on their china, their expensive china and crystals, and being hand-fed over at the Carter compound, they probably have their own oxygen. Right? They're rich, famous, and probably believe that everything in the world is all about them. They cannot understand how after they've gone from selling drugs to making it to the top of rap music kingdom as Jay-Z did, because, he was out there selling that yayo in the Marcy Projects. For her selling hair and grandma clothes, that after they did all that, and gave you the renaissance that y'all still gonna play in their black faces, yeah, because you're black. Well, they couldn't believe it. Now, it's not entirely surprising to me because Beyonce's had not so great relationship with the CMAs, remember? Y'all don't remember that? Well, she created Cowboy Carter as a fuck you to them and everybody who says that black people can't own or reclaim country music. Now, again, I told you when she had them Dixie Chicks up there, and she invited the Dixie Chicks who had been banned by white people after what she did to the president, I think it was Bush, remember? She had them come up there and sing Daddy Lessons in them face, and the audience immediately reacted by booing and yelling out racist comments like somebody allegedly screaming, "Get that black off the stage right now!" Talking about Beyonce. Now, Natalie Maines of the Chicks previously spoke out on the incident. She talked about it on the Howard Stern show. Take a listen.
Formed with Beyonce. I don't know whether it was because of your country fans who felt you had betrayed them or she wasn't country. I remember it was just a big fucking brouhaha that you showed up with Beyonce. Right. Criticized for that, right?
It was just a weird vibe in that building. We hadn't done anything, country award shows or anything since the controversy. Let me just say, the week we worked with Beyonce is the single greatest working week of my professional life. It was awesome to watch her world, to see how she does stuff. She's a perfectionist, and to see the power she has as a female and a black female is incredible. And I guess they can rate those shows now by the 15 minutes. It's
Absolutely.
the highest rated 15 minutes in CMA history. And then they start getting, you know, racist assholes bombarding their website with comments and emails and whatever. And so they take her down. They took our performance down and caved to that bullshit. And then they, I guess, got so much bad press for doing that. Within 24 hours, they put it back up again. Just cowards. It's just crazy. She just gave you your greatest ratings that you've ever gotten. How dare you take her song off? It was ridiculous.
You fucking kidding me? I knew none of that.
Can you believe that?
No. Can I elaborate as to why no? So,
Rob, you got a microphone. I'm not the CMAs. I'm not the CMAs, and you're not Beyonce.
So, for me, when they decided to commercialize country music, they blocked black people out of that through advertising, through marketing, through the promotion of country music. They did not give black music the mainstream platform. This is essentially them doing that in modern time. So this album was certified platinum. She didn't need to submit herself. It was supposed to be on the ballots who was nominated. Her album moved, made waves, but she was not placed in a position to get an award on that platform. And I think it's another instance of them blocking black people out of country music. Whether we want her to have it or not, whether she needs to be validated by it or not, I think it's that white world of country saying, we're not going to let you in words in.
And let me be very clear. Again, all the criticism I gave at the top was very intentional about her brand, and I stand on that. But this is not her brand. This is her music, and I stand on what I said. Anything Beyonce does is worthy of being acclaimed and given the proper respect that it deserves. What they're showing you is if Beyonce ain't even worthy of a nomination, your black ass ain't nominated either. You're not worthy either. So this is, I have to agree with Rob, in many ways, a clear signal to all you know that no matter who you are, no matter how great you are, you're not going to be eligible. Well, Beyonce's father, Matthew Knowles, who ruined her family, ended up speaking out about the CMA Awards, failing to nominate his daughter and her Cowboy Carter album. He told TMZ he's not surprised given her history with the CMAs, and it's all about race. Look, he said the voters at the CMA Awards are showing it still comes down to white and black. There's more white people in America, and unfortunately, they don't vote based on ability and achievements. It's still sometimes a white and black thing. I mean, the way you embarrass your daughter for the whole world to see and shit it on her mother, who everybody loves, including me, I don't really want to hear from you. In fact, I'd rather hear from Michelle Williams. Goodbye. Stop doing Beyonce wrong. Let that girl, put it back up. Give that girl her, y'all didn't. So she didn't go to the awards or nothing?
No, she wasn't.
Oh, has it aired yet?
I don't think it's aired yet. They just announced the nomination.
She should go.
Oh.
Would that be uncomfortable?
No, not for her.
Would it be beneath her?
No, I think she should. I think
but
she should walk up.
I'm telling you, it would be beneath someone this talented, this beautiful, this respected, this acclaimed to even grace them with the.
Yeah, and they wouldn't give her a good seat anyway.
Yeah, I mean, them putting with Beyonce in the back, I would personally go and light that place on fire. Because she's Beyonce. Like, you do have to respect her artistry. She's built a beautiful fan base of fans who love and defend and protect her, who I'm sure are going to be all over our page when this airs, as they should. But, you know, Beyonce is just different. We're never going to see an artist like her in our generation again. And I thought Daddy Lessons, I won't lie, that's a performance at the CMAs. First of all, let's be clear, I've never played a performance from the CMAs. That performance I've played probably 100 times because of how amazing it was to see her and the Dixie Chicks, and just their performance was phenomenal. And I think Beyonce, almost everything she does is great. Singing-wise. Performing-wise. All right, bye. Speaking of the Carters and drama, Jay-Z created all this drama right here. Jay-Z, you are the one to blame. Hold on. Matter of fact, Jay-Z, where's it at? This is why you did it. The money. Baby, y'all had the internet in a chokehold because last Sunday, Jay-Z's Rock Nation and Apple Music partnership and the NFL announced that Compton rapper Kendrick Lamar is going to be the headliner for the 59th annual Super Bowl halftime show. Now, the event is set to take place on February 9, 2025 in New Orleans, Louisiana. notably known as the birthplace and stomping grounds of Lil Wayne and other Cash Money artists like Mia X, Baby, C Murder, all the people. I mean, as soon as it was announced, fans went crazy and condemned the decision, throwing Jay-Z and the NFL under the bus for choosing Kendrick over Louisiana artists because that's where they should have allowed this to thrive. Now, aside from other artists calling the decision disrespectful, Wayne's longtime engineer and co-manager, Fabian, I don't know his last name, he posted this on Instagram. Confused, disappointed, angry, but most of all inspired. We'll never again be in a position or have the GOAT in a position where we are at the mercy of someone else's decision. We will make the decisions. I mean, I don't think they were going to go and create another NFL because this one decision that you can't control. Well, fellow New Orleans rap legend Master P also spoke out, and this is what he said. Salute to Kendrick Lamar for performing at the halftime show at the previous Super Bowl. Well-deserved. He's one of the hottest music artists in the world and has one of the biggest songs right now. As an ambassador of entertainment in the city of New Orleans, I have to agree with the fans that Lil Wayne should be part of this celebration as well. He's one of the greatest hip-hop artists, is what he meant to say, alive, still relevant, and he's a New Orleans native. Let's not miss this cultural moment in the South. Life is too short. We have to give our legends their flowers while they are here. Well, Shreveport, Louisiana rapper Hurricane Chris, who just got out of jail, remember he was facing murder charges, he claimed he tried to warn us about this a few weeks ago when he condemned 50 Cent for hosting a huge festival, buying up land and paying the city millions while neglecting local artists and citizens. Take a look at what he had to say.
So now you understand it, huh? Same shit that I was just saying 50 Cent did in Shreveport. Now it's happening in New Orleans on a bigger scale, so people like Master P come in on it, you know, so now everybody understand. I just made this same statement, but I guess, you know, because I ain't my brother, motherfuckers ain't get it. Well, I'm glad it's going down like it's going down. God told me to just sit back and eyes was going to be open. It don't matter whether you small or big. It don't matter whether you large. It don't matter whether you tiny. Homage is old. Respect is old. You're supposed to pay respect to the that laid a foundation before you. I wouldn't give a damn what your organization is. I wouldn't give a damn how much money you spent. I wouldn't give a damn what you did. When you walk into a house, you speak to everybody who live in that house and you pay respect to everybody who live in that house. I'm from the South. Now, wherever you from, you go do what you do wherever you go do it. But when you come to the South, y'all got to show more respect in this, bruh. We got our own culture here. Coming down here laughing, playing games, thinking they just gonna use their money and take over everything. It ain't going down like that. We going back to that old law. Stepping on turf, gonna do what you're supposed to do, or you gonna pack your shit up and get on somewhere. All the nice guys the window, being nice, trying to cop.
Another New Orleans rapper, Juvenile, who was also part of the Cash Money and Hot Boys, also spoke out, but he directed his anger towards the NFL commissioner, not Hov. Take a look.
So everybody want me to speak on this Super Bowl situation. Look, I'm mad about the situation just like y'all, man, but, you know, my hatred is toward the NFL. You know, not really the people that booked the halftime show. I'm mad at the people that hired the motherfuckers that booked the halftime show. I feel like y'all should step in. Y'all done threw 11 Super Bowls in New Orleans, man. Y'all have yet to put a hip-hop artist from New Orleans on the damn Super Bowl. Sure, y'all have put artists on the Super Bowl back in the day, say Al Hurt, and the list goes on. Not too many. You know, I feel like every time y'all come here, y'all should have somebody from our city on the shit. But this time it really hit hard when you don't have Lil Wayne on the show. I don't see how the fuck y'all don't have Lil Wayne doing a halftime show. Somebody that has a whole bunch of fucking hits and somebody that really deserves it and somebody that can bring out multiple artists of all genres. Think about it. So this goes to you, Roger Goodell. You need to get it right, man. You coming in our city, sucking up our cultures and making up all this money and putting all this bread in your pocket, putting all this bread in other people's pockets and leaving us dry, hanging us dry. You gotta stop.
Now, Wayne's mentor and Cash Money founder Birdman tweeted, here's what he had to say. He said, hating shit for real. These niggas pussy. And then he added Nicki Minaj, Drake, Lil Tucci, YMCMB. That's Young Money, Cash Money. I'm making these niggas respect us on Gladys. Shaking my fucking head. Well, and you already know Nicki Minaj was going to say something because this is the man who put her in the game and she's that's her guy. and they have a really close relationship. Well, she definitely weighed in and apparently heavily criticized and drug Hove, and here's what she had to say. She said, I love watching the whole industry play dumb time after time. LOL. The truth is the truth no matter who tells it. Picking and choosing who y'all accept truth from, then bam, pow. Might tell you a joke, but won't tell you a lie. Wah ha 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 ha. Then she went on to say, one nigga took a knee, the other nigga took the bag. He gonna get you niggers in line every fucking time. Gag City, DC. Well, there will be no more Beyonce collaborations for you because that's not gonna happen. But I'm glad that Nicki stood on business because regardless of who does what the funny shit, nobody should be absolved from being held accountable. When she referenced the Colin Kaepernick thing, I have to tell you, I agree with Nicki. I was on the way here on a phone call and I said, y'all forgot all about Colin and what he was doing when Jay-Z did that partnership and started making the Super Bowl hot. So on one hand, I love that a black man was able to do a business for him in the culture and thrive, because you're forcing us in front of all these families and you are balancing it out in terms of them seeing us so black all the time because performances. But all them white owners still got all the black players on the field. So it's still a very much slave type mentality where the owners are white and the players and performers are black and they sell and trade them all day. So Nicki didn't tell no lie. Well, things went further left. Take a look. God forbid if Wayne was to leave this earth right now, the culture would be in mourning. That's why so many people are saying to give our legends their flowers while they're still around to smell them. Sitting around all day playing games with people's life and legacy. God ain't sleep. G. Roberson, you will learn that too very soon. Wait. G. Roberson? What? Put that back up. Oh, because G. Roberson used to manage Nicki, and he's over there with Hove because they're together. Okay, I get it. She says DTLRXLOCI. I don't know if that's Illuminati text, but either way, it says, want niggas to suck. Who is that? Want niggas to suck his dick for a Grammy. Want them to suck his dick to do the halftime show. Oh, so she's basically saying for basically Jay-Z wants niggas to suck his dick for a Grammy, want them to suck his dick to do the halftime show. LOL, glad I did it already. Not suck his dick, meaning she performed with Madonna. Come on. Laughing my fucking ass off, threatening any outlet who shows me love. Niglet, if you don't get gone. Nicki, call me and tell me who you're talking about. You know why that's funny, right? Because she ain't calling.
I know.
But call me, girl. Well, after all her condemning tweets, she ended up backing down. She got that phone call. Take a look. You can love and respect Kendrick and still love and respect Wayne. Even Kendrick loves and respects Wayne. Every real rapper loves and respects Wayne. Gag City, DC. Tonight is the night. The whole DMV area. I'll see you soon. We will have a beautiful, magical, successful show. What?
That was a real 180.
I think that being that I'm somebody who has tweeted things in the passion of whatever, she probably said some stuff and didn't mean to slight Kendrick. She may have a new project coming with Kendrick. She has a all these people, when you're at the level of a Kendrick, a Cardi, a Nicki, a Lauren, or whoever, all those people have so many interrelationships that it's like you say something, but you don't know how that triggers.
Yeah.
Like you definitely, Beyonce probably slid in her DM and was like, bitch, what? I don't know, because she's done songs with Beyonce and they have a relationship. But I do feel in many ways that that Kendrick, who's already performed at the Super Bowl, because he did L.A., where he's from, should have allowed Wayne. Wayne should have done it. Now, I did see Super Nerd had something to say. We put that on Hollywood Unlocked. I'm going to post it right here. He basically said that Lil Wayne that he worked with him on a project and never saw him. And never spoke to him and basically was late and all types of other things, so that he may not be the best performer to watch to do a whole halftime show. But I think Lil Wayne has enough hits where he could have mixed in all the other Louisiana rappers and done the same thing that Kendrick did for LA. That would have had Louisiana lit. But does Hove hate Drake? Because I remember Hove had went on the Breakfast Club and said that he was going to sign Drake once, but Drake didn't sign with him. He signed with Lil Wayne. So then you bring on the artist who took the biggest dig. I mean, because people are petty at that level too. I mean, I would do it. Well, either way, I'm going to be watching the Super Bowl just like everybody else who forgot about Colin. Isn't that sad?
Oh, the Colin thing?
Yeah, just how like just how we as a culture don't stand for
There's
nothing.
been no resolution for that, which is insanity.
And he keeps saying that he's going to go and play football. He wants to come back to the NFL. That's almost like when guys get old and their hair starts falling out, but they want to keep braids.
Not Johnny Ladd.
No, I mean, it's like at some point you got to give up.
I mean, is it time for him to give up? I don't know. He might still be capable.
What does braids look like?
Maybe he can coach.
He wants to play.
He let him play and then play for a year, then he can coach. And then maybe own a team or something.
Bye. Well, Shannon Sharpe went live for the whole world to watch or to hear. Did you see this?
Yes.
Were you wishing it was you?
Absolutely not. Who would I want to be, the floor that the phone was pointing at?
You're not attracted to Shannon? That's not your type?
Looking like somebody's uncle.
Oh, I thought you were going to say somebody auntie. Well, either way, Shannon Sharpe has the internet on fire. Yeah, and no, it's not with another viral interview. Instead, the Club Shay Shay host got his bang bang on while on Instagram Live. Now, immediately he took to his Instagram story and claimed that he was hacked. Here's a photo of what he said. Beware, my Instagram was hacked. This morning, my team and I are working vigorously. That was peculiar, to figure this out. Well, we all know that there's lots of rumors out there about Club Shay Shay, or not Club Shay Shay, but Shannon. You know, some people have, alleged that he might be a homosexual. Other people have said lots of things about him. I talked about him being bad built body. Of course, my body is what it is. I'm not saying I have the perfect body. I'm just not built like that with leggings on at a grown ass age or whatever he is. Now, I am a fan of him. I'm not a fan of the fact that they blocked us, so that's why I talk my shit. But I love his show. No, I don't. I can't lie. I mean, it's really like just a very uninformed, viral, clout-chasing, former football player turned Fabletics, Fashion Nova man, jumpsuit-wearing person who doesn't know social media, just knows he wants to go viral. But you go and you have sex, you was humping on some girl. I'm trying to figure out who that is. If I hear the voice a couple more times, I'm going to know who it is. I'm going to find you. I'm going to put you on the internet. Well, either way, the reason why he said he got blocked is because Shannon... I don't think a man should be that big and called Shannon. Anyway, Shay Shay went live. This is what happened on his Instagram. Listen. So when you heard it, you didn't want to teleport right into that room and...
No, I felt uncomfortable listening to it.
Why?
That's like listening to your grandfather have sex. Like I just.
Well, ESPN is saying that they're not going to fire him as a result of it, and it's not because of his performance. And Shay Shay, we know some of the same people. They're not in my community; they're in your community. They be talking. I know a little bit about what they say about what you're working with and stuff. I'm not going to talk about that. Well, what I will say is that. I think it was an attempt to go viral and dispel some rumors of your sexuality. I think being viral is a drug. Like this mic right here, if I really wanted to, I could go viral between this mic and my mind. Rob will tell you, I can burn this internet down. I've done it before, you know that. But that rush of adrenaline or dopamine, whatever emotion or whatever that chemical is, it's not worth it in the long run. You are on ESPN. You are working with family household brands. And that humping the internet, laying on top of whoever that poor girl is, while you pumped inside of her for us all to hear, millions of people listening. was just a travesty of an attempt to go viral. And he went viral, and then now you're backtracking trying to say you didn't. Well, anyway, the internet sleuth started sifting through Shannon's followers trying to see who it was. Because as Unc mentioned, the girl's name was Michelle. So as he's going, Michelle, as he's doing that good old Color Purple breathing, they found a person on the line on his Instagram named Shelly and started flooding her comments. This is a photo of the fans in this woman Michelle's comments. Was it you? We heard you. Okay, Unc. Well, she then fired back and claimed it was a case of mistaken identity. Take a look, and this is the woman addressing fans. My name is Nichelle, not Michelle. Nobody calls me that. This is not me. Well, Shannon soon broke his silence on the Nightcap podcast with his boy Chad Ochocinco Johnson, and here's what happened.
There were an event that happened today. Obviously, I'm embarrassed. Someone that is extremely, extremely private, and to have one of your most intimate details, the audio heard for the entire world to hear. I'm embarrassed for a number of reasons. People count on Shannon. There are a lot of people that count on Shannon to be professional at all times, and I always try to be professional at all times. Even when I'm behind closed doors, I still try to remain a level of, even when I'm behind closed doors, I still try to remain a level of professional, although I'm in the privacy of my own home. And I'm very disappointed in myself. Not for the act. I think there are millions and billions of people of consenting age that engage in activities. But to have your most intimate detail on the audio to be heard, I'm disappointed in myself. I called them. I called my sister. My friends reached out. But guys, this was not staged. Came in, I threw my phone. Staged. Came in, I threw my phone on the bed, gazed in an activity. I did not know IG Live. I've never been on IG Live. I've never turned IG Live on. So I don't know how it works. And so all of a sudden, my other phone is going off and people are calling me FaceTime that I've never talked to a day in my life on FaceTime. And I'm like, why are y'all calling me FaceTime? And after a while, Jamie, and he says, Shannon, you on IG Live. I'm like, doing what? I'm like, what am I on IG Live for? I ain't hit no IG Live button. He says, on IG Live for? I ain't hit no IG Live button. He says, they can hear. I'm like, so now, Ocho, I say ask for patience. He said they can hear. And now I'm starting to get agitated again because you called me and say I'm on IG Live when I know I didn't click myself on IG Live. And he said they can hear me. I said, hear me doing what? He said, it sounds like you were having sex. Man, my heart sank. It dropped. I run my accounts, but Jordan being the good Samaritan, the good soldier that he is, Jordan the one that cut it off. Because hell, I didn't even know it was on. That he is. Jordan the one that cut it off. Because hell, I didn't even know it was on. Jordan cut it off. Jordan put the message up. And then after I called my agent, the agency, I called ESPN after I just got this good, tell them the truth. I said, I just got to tell them the truth. My phone wasn't hacked. It wasn't a prank. It was me being a healthy, active male. I mean, y'all thought I was bull jiving. Hey, Ocho, see, I don't, man, I'll be lying. Okay, lying. And in all sincerity, I'm extremely embarrassed that a very, very private, intimate situation, the audio can be heard. And I'm extremely disappointed in myself. 5 minutes before I came on, phone rings. It's Cat Williams. What's up? The first thing out of his mouth, guess what he said, Ocho?
Oh, wow.
You ain't gay today?
Hey, listen.
I said, man,
listen.
Come on, Cat. He's like,
Did you believe his excuse?
Which one? Because first it got hacked, then he threw his phone and Instagram Live just turned on. I tried to go on Instagram Live because I don't ever do it, and it took like 5 steps. So I just don't know.
Yeah. I go live a lot. You have to do a lot to do this. ESPN, if you buy this, you're dumb. Okay? Now, I don't want to see this man get unemployed. But this buffoonery is even beneath you. ESPN is owned by Walt Disney Company. Bob Iger, really? This is, do you really think that he didn't know, didn't know how to go live? When they knew how to block us everywhere, so you know how to work the phone. Don't buy into it. Well, anyway, like many other people on the internet, a rapper and podcaster Cameron was not convinced at all. Listen.
Apologizing to ESPN, know you guys, then you're bragging. Thirdly, you say, you know who called me today? Cat Williams. He said, you ain't gay today. Why you gotta make an announcement you ain't gay? If people say you gay, whatever. I don't think you need to make an announcement. I wore pink a lot of my career, and people be like, hey, Cam is gay, Cam is gay. And I'll be like, bring your mother around and see what happens if you bring your mother around or your sister. Let's see how gay I am. I don't need to make an announcement that I'm not gay. I'm not saying Shannon Sharpe is gay or isn't gay. I don't care what his sexual preference is. I think this whole thing was staged. You know what happens after that? You talking about, oh, crashed the site, all my merch sold out. All of a sudden, now all the merch sold out after you on IG Live grunting. So I told you. Yeah, man, I think this was a ploy. I think it's a Ponzi scam. But if it worked for you, it worked for you. But that's my personal opinion.
The way you were moaning and groaning, if your breath matched that sound at all, you need to be jailed. I don't want this visual stuck in my head, especially before I have to go to dinner. But you did that. You're a scammer. We see you. We know you scamming the people. And you won. Because that's the name of the game, is how many people can hear you, see you, clicks. You won. So people that understand how this internet works like me knows that you did that. Cameron, we know that you did that. But nonetheless, whoever that young poor girl is that you were laying and pumping and dumping in, we're going to find her. And then she going to have a whole other experience. Because Nichelle said, don't try that over here with me. What advice do you have for Shannon?
If you say you threw the bed on the phone,
threw
the phone on the bed, make sure it's on the bed and not pointed at the floor and not moving while the bed is moving.
Get your lies straight. Like, do you and your team plot this? Like, y'all just go viral and then clean it up later? Anyway, bye, Shay Shay. That's it. It's time for Thoughts and Prayers. Now, y'all know I'm the internet's favorite person, but the second favorite is Krishan Rock, who's back home, and I just know that things are about to heat up. Just as quickly as Kamala Harris was putting that fire under Donald Trump at the debate, she cooked that ass up. That bad-built, bleached, blonde baldy couldn't even handle Madam Vice President and was dodging every question and attack thrown his way. Now, everybody kept asking Kamala about her policies, but Trump couldn't even share his own plan for office. He clearly knows who's going to win. Now, we already know Trump's a felon, but now he's out here excessively lying and creating wild fables about migrants eating other people's pets. The only moral lesson in that fable is don't vote for somebody who lies and happens to be a felon. Not only did America's sweetheart Taylor Swift endorse Kamala, but Queen Bee subtly done so herself. Now, what's not subtle is that seemingly racist snub from the CMA Awards. Don't forget, black people created country music. They tried to shut her out of the awards, and she still ended up on top because if you don't know, black people are resilient. You can't keep us down. Don't play with us in our face. Keep the tricks and plays on the field like with Tyreek Hill. A simple traffic stop with an overzealous cop might now lead to the city's police getting sued. And when it comes to this Super Bowl headliner drama, we love Wayne and we love Kendrick. But at the end of the day, the city of New Orleans had the final decision. Y'all might be mad at the wrong people. But maybe we'll see K-Dot bring out Weezy. Until we find out, keep checking back on updates here at the Jason Lee Podcast. And no matter where you are in America, especially if you're in Stockton, California, get registered to vote. because the election day is on November 5th, and in less than 50 days, I'll be the councilman. And we might just have the first female black president of the United States. First president and first female and first black female.
Yep.
All right. Until then, follow us on all social. We're out of here. Peace.
The Jason Lee Podcast.